I'ma just glaze up my guy real quick and dip up out of here. A little bit about myself, even though no one asked, but I'm not the biggest JJK fan. Look here man, I think that shit is cool and I've been watching it when it first dropped. And I'm going to continue to keep watching it. But the only character I cared about in JJK was Toji. As for whatever else happens to any of the remaining characters in the anime, I don't care.
But Toji didn't show up until the second season. How could you watch something that you're not the biggest fan of?
Because JJK still has some cool shit going on. It's really that simple. But back to Big Toji. Listen, I don't care that he was a grown-ass man popping little kids in their face for some quick cash. Man's got some bills to pay. Who am I to tell him how he should earn his hard-earned cash? Also, I'm not judging this fictional man in a fictional world for killing a fictional kid. Just throwing that out there. Morality for fictional characters out the fucking window with me, okay? Now this is how I know I'm a massive Toji glazer. At the time of recording this, the 5th episode of Season 3 of JJK still hasn't dropped yet. That 4th episode went crazy though, but you don't need me to tell you that. And I'm also saying this as a person who never cared for Maki. But you wanna know what I was thinking the entire time Maki was out there popping off from that whole Kill Bill portion up until the end of the episode? Damn, I miss Toji and I wish he was still alive. Now isn't that some shit? Maki was really out there doing all of that crazy shit. Damn near scalping bitches, dicking down people left and right, eradicating her clan without breaking a sweat. And yet I'm still over here on Toji's dick despite him being dead. At one point when this cocky bitch was talking about how Maki ain't Toji, I was like, first of all, fuck you. But we're on the same type of timing. Ain't nobody up there with the GOAT. And for anyone questioning me, this is nothing against Maki or me just being salty about how she's taken over Toji's spot or being threatened about how my favorite character is being outdone by another. Honestly, none of that shit bothers me. I'm actually glad she's getting more shine since Nobara is out the picture. I mean, they gotta do one solid female character, right? I also want to say that I don't care if Maki was 100 times stronger than Toji, she still ain't him. This also has nothing to do with Maki being a girl. She don't walk better than him, she don't talk better than him. Maki couldn't dream of having the charisma that Toji has. Okay, alright, let me stop. But seriously, if Toji was actually Taji and had the same story, personality, and was the same physical monster, I would have been writing her over Maki anyway. It is funny to think about how at any point that man Toji could have went out of his way and decimated his entire clan on some Itachi shit, but treated as an outcast, that man had to find his own way. Yes, going as far as killing and sneaking a few kids is a bit much, but fuck it, he did what he had to do. I would say normally people have to take accountability for their own actions, but at the same time, the Zenin clan created that monster. Personally, I'm always going to gravitate towards the one character in a show who has maxed out physical capabilities, while everyone else around them is out there with their magic power systems flying on broomsticks with all of that other flashy bullshit. And I know there are people in Jujutsu Kaisen who got hands, but Toji was just a beast with insane physical prowess. For having no curse energy, he had his stats maxed out to the point he could fuck up special grade sorcerers. Off of that alone, I gotta put respect on that man's name. Just on a side note here, but if all of these characters were told to put down the guns and just boxed, and by guns I mean cursed energy or ocular jutsu, who is coming out on top? The sorcerers or Big Toji? Okay, I rest my case. If you're not strapped up, you're getting packed up. Just a little extra glaze before I get up off my knees and out my merry way, but the fact that this man did what he had done to Gojo and help him level up, died, returned by having his soul summoned to the battlefield, and then took himself out after he saw that his son was alright, and ultimately showing his whole ass to his trash ass clan who couldn't hold a candle to him despite being powerful sorcerers, and is still being brought up at this point in the anime, goated. Absolutely goated. To have this level of impact on the story that he had while not being a character that was around for a long period of time speaks volumes to his greatness. If we're being real, there are some shows that got characters in the main cast who can't even impact their own stories in half the way that Toji did. No bullshit, if I remove my Toji bias aside for a sec, is it really too far-fetched to say that Toji has more impact on the story of JJK than the majority of the other characters? I kinda wanna say he's at the top just for setting so much things into motion. On a more serious note, there is a very valuable lesson in Toji's story. Do not waste energy in proving people wrong who don't give a damn about you. Seeking their validation in the end will do nothing for you. Despite proving that he could best sorcerers without an ounce of cursed energy, Toji really thought that he could challenge the Jujutsu system and bring it crumbling down as a big fuck you to the very system that caused him so much grief, only for him to lose his life in the process. Sometimes you really have nothing to prove once you've proved it to yourself. You don't need to prove it to others. But to be as dope of an antagonist that Toji was and to have such a human flaw... again man, he's the best thing to come out of JJK, what are we talking about? By the way, the Jujutsu Kaisen GOAT died standing on his feet like a fucking G, unlike some people.